game is lame and absurd, but you spit. You need to sit back and observe a certified pimp. So fly. Oh yes he is. I mean that boy does the shit. So messy is. Fresh to death. Ain't nobody fresh as he is. They can't compare. Won't get next to him because he's so fly. I mean the boy's so clean. From his white tee on down to those jeans. You see the ice in the pinky.
What is good, everybody? It's your man's Ken Jackson. This is the Ken Jackson Experience. Sunday night broadcast, 9 p.m. I'm right on time tonight. Was actually having some connection difficulties here a few minutes ago, but it came through and worked. So, how's everybody tonight? This is going to be a short show because I have an early day tomorrow, babysitting the grandkids and going to be spending the day with the babies and got to get my beauty rest in tonight. So, welcome to the show. So, no politics tonight. I'm so sick of politics, actually. There has been too much bullcrap going on, and I think a lot of you already know, and it's just depressing and tiring. So, what am I talking about tonight? Actually, I want to expand on a discussion I had earlier today on my uh, on my random thoughts and shit show, and I was talking about how black folks, black men and women, uh, try to lay a lifetime claim to their former spouses and girlfriends and boyfriends, husbands, wives, whatever the relationship was. There's this thing about black folks that like to claim them forever, you know, after the breakup. I can never ever understand that. It was always perplexing to me how somebody thought that they could claim you or you could claim someone else for the rest of their natural born days uh, after you all broke up. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I saw an interesting there's a video series that I watch, uh, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. I'm not going to say the name of it here, but it's a comedy series on YouTube. Uh, and one of the skits uh, today was one of the dudes in the skits. He's all bent out of shape because his ex girlfriend is dating uh, someone that they both happen to work with, you know, and it is so crazy to me because one, uh, what's funny about it is the fact that it's so true. Uh, Black men, black women like to, you know, hate on uh, the next person in your life, after you've left them behind. Uh, but it's even worse uh, for them when the next person in your life is someone that you both know, close friend, relative, or whatever, you know. And black folks have this thing about respect. This it's a respect thing. How in the hell can you know she was my girl, or he was my man, or and the key word in that is was. Not anymore. No longer together with yo ass. So they've moved on and found someone new. And hey, that someone new happens to be somebody close to both of you, someone that you both know. And I could never understand how black folks would be all bent out of shape about that. You know, I've actually experienced it in real life. I got friends of mine who have dated someone, and I got a couple of friends that were married and got divorced, and their ex uh, connected with someone that we all knew. I didn't see a problem with it. I'm like, hey, good for them. They're happy. They love each other. You know, maybe they can make something work out that your ass couldn't. You know, and like for me, personally, it's never been an issue for me. We're not together anymore. I could care less who you get with next. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? But and then what even makes it even a hotter, subject is if they have kids together. You know what I'm saying? And I personally know people who uh, are in that situation right now where uh, they got divorced, you know, and a close friend, hooked up with them, and now all of a sudden, oh, don't bring that motherfucker around my kids, even if it's someone you don't know, that's always the subject. You got my kids around, so and so. Yeah, that's who the hell I'm with now. And guess what? My kids are with me too sometimes. And my kids are going to be a full part of my life, just like they should be a full part of your life. And, it's really crazy to me that, that, for somehow or another, we like to lay claim to, to former relationships. Hold on, let me, let me get my system set up here because I was not prepared earlier. I got a different phone line that I want to run through the system. And let's see, let's turn that on. Scan, there it goes. Boom. Okay. So, uh, is it working? Is it working? Come on, come on. Connect. Connect, connect, connect. It don't want to connect. Hold on, let me turn this one off. Oh, there we go. There we go. Pair. Perfect. 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 All right. So, phone line is available if you decide that you would like to call in and join this conversation. The number is 772 269 4207. That's 772 269 4207. Call in live and, let's chat. But anyway, laying lifetime claim to exes and past relationships. Uh, how do you feel about that? If we don't get to talk tonight, please leave a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on the subject. I happen to think it's very idiotic to think that just because you were with somebody that someone else that you know uh, can't be with them after y'all have parted ways. Um, I mean, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid that they might have a successful relationship where you couldn't make it work? Is that the issue? I don't know. Or is it because you're planning on uh, trying to make your ex a sneaky link or whatever? Or are you afraid that your ex might tell some of your uh, deep dark secrets that you used to discuss with them? What is it? What is it that makes you think that you can uh, make an ex off limits to your friends, family, or just anyone? Again, like I said, it's it's something I could never ever understand. As to why people, black folks, because that's the only ones I can speak for. I don't know if this happens, among white people. I don't know, and I'm just talking about my people right now. Let's check this out here because it's really funny to me that uh, that we do that, and I say we. Even though I don't personally do that, but I say we as a group, as a community, that's something that's very common in the black community that, you know, exes are off limits, to everybody, within your atmosphere. Once you're done with them, everybody else has to be done with them. That's another thing too. It's like um, I remember. Uh, it's been some time ago that a really good friend of mine, both him and his wife were very close friends of mine, known them for 10, 15 years, and they split up. Now I knew the husband first, but I met the wife obviously through the husband. But when they split up, my homeboy was like, "Yo, fuck her, don't talk. If she calls you, man, don't talk to her. This that." I'm like, "Are you serious, dude? I've known her just as long as I've known you. Why would I not speak to her? Just because y'all are hating each other and y'all are, I mean, she didn't do anything to me. You know what I'm saying? I have no reason to be angry at her. Y'all's marriage didn't work out. That's y'all's marriage. I didn't have shit to do with your marriage, your relationship, or anything. So why on earth, am I gonna uh, why am I going to hate on her because y'all didn't work out? I'm not going to do that, you know? And it has nothing to do with friendship and loyalty or any bullshit like that. It's just common human decency, you know? Y'all had the issue, not us, not anybody else, you and her. You know what I mean? Your marriage didn't work, plain and simple. Move on. Find you someone else. I'm sure she's going to find her someone else. But you know what? You're both still going to be my friends because, as I said, she didn't do anything to me. And I'm not about to hold a failed marriage against her. I'm damn sure not about to take sides in anything like that. Never will, never have. I'm just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because one, life is too short, to be worried about bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying? Life is, I mean, we're here for just a minuscule of a moment, on the whole grand scale of the universe and time. And I'm not going to waste my time and energy, being mad at someone that didn't do anything to me directly, you know? Y'all did that to each other. I ain't have shit to do with it. So there you have it. And I know a lot of you out there may disagree with me. Y'all might say, Ken, you ain't loyal, and I'm glad you're not my friend, this, that, or the other. Hey, you know what? That's fine. You know what I'm saying? My friends are my friends. And I got friends that don't like each other, you know? But that has nothing to do with me. I'm not a gangbanger. I'm not a member of any exclusive clubs or memberships or groups. I don't do that shit. I just don't. I got people in my life, and different people within my life are at, I'm not going to say different positions or different levels because they're all my friends, and all my friends don't have to be friends with each other. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? So no, I'm not gonna sit here and co-sign your bullshit because uh, you and your wife or you and your husband didn't work out. You're still both my friend. So say what you want about me. That's the way it is. All right. What else? What else? I wanted to touch on something earlier I was thinking about, and I can't remember. This whole podcast thing, I've been working on this for a lot of years. I actually started this 16 years ago now. This internet broadcasting, and I wasn't, into it like it is now because it's like grown into a whole monster now. Everybody and their brother has a show. Everybody and their mom is doing a podcast or a webcast or whatever you want to call it. And it's cool. I think it's probably the greatest thing, to ever happen in the media business because um, podcasting has enabled just regular people like me uh, to get out here and get the word out about whatever it is that we want to talk about or anything that we feel passionate about. Or if you're like me, it's just something to do in your retirement years. You know what I mean? I'm not that serious with it. Someone asked me yesterday, Ken, man, you making any money, doing that? No, nope. I'm not trying to. Not selling any products. I'm not, pushing any particular narratives. I just like to talk about things that are interesting to me and important to me at times. Sometimes I just like to talk about nothing, you know. Sometimes it's just all a bunch of bullshit and just killing some time, you know. But the main thing is it's about having some fun and enjoying whatever it is that you do. I spent a lot of years in the music business, as a producer, as a manager, as a label owner, as a studio owner and engineer. Um, I've done a multitude of other things in my short 60 years on this planet, and uh, now that I'm older, I realize it was just all bullshit. You know, we're on the hamster wheel, chasing something that will, never catch. You know, um, hoping for something that really doesn't matter after you're gone from here. We're here for a short time, and I say all that to say this: enjoy your life. Do whatever it is that makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it for anybody else but yourself. I mean, if you got kids, do your best to raise your kids the right way and try to teach them, the skills that they need to live and survive. But enjoy your life. Don't put anything on hold. If there's something that you want to do, just do it. Don't put it off till tomorrow because tomorrow may never come. Plain and simple. Um, just pursue your passion. That, in fact, that's what I originally started this on. Uh, 16 years ago when I was managing a young lady here in South Florida, a young singer, and I actually started the show. It was called Pursue Your Passion, and it was all about her chasing her dream to be a singer, and she, to this day, she still sings, and she's an amazing uh, vocalist. Uh, she's in her late 20s now. No, no, no. She might be even 30 now, as a matter of fact. Yeah, because she's the same age as my son. So she's right at 30 now. But, amazing vocalist. But I started this webcasting thing, as a means to promote not only her, but other artists that I was working with back in those days. And, and I used to tell people back then, I said, this internet broadcasting thing is going to be big. I said, watch, just like how the music industry shifted from analog to digital, and then, from cassettes to CDs to streaming, to what it is now. I don't know what it is now. I haven't been involved with the music industry, for probably about 8, 9 years now. Um, but I was saying back 16 years ago, I said, watch, this internet broadcasting thing's going to be a big thing. And then the pandemic happened, and then everybody went on YouTube, and YouTube's been around a long time. We used to have YouTube, Vimeo. Uh, um, there were a couple other streaming services back in the day. They weren't really streaming; they were just like video hosting services. Uh, but the streaming thing took off. And like I said, we were doing the streaming it was really uh, before it was really streaming. I don't even remember what we called it back then, but um, I told people, I said, it's going to be a big thing. And now every major media outlet, and like I said, everybody and their mama got a show now online. And it's amazing to me, but I'm glad it's like this now because it has leveled the playing field. Big corporations, don't dominate, like they used to. Uh, um, Biggest shows online now are independent shows. Joe Rogan, he's the biggest podcast in the world. But you have a lot of other podcast shows that are really, really big. Um, and basically anybody with a smartphone now can do a show online, and I love that. I love the fact that uh, the big corporations uh, don't own the internet, in the way that they own the airways back in the radio days. Um, so I got an opportunity uh, in front of me now to be on a radio show. And I'm having second thoughts about it because, I've always been, for independence, and and you know, hold on one second. And you know, the corporate, environment's not something that I'm privy to, or I don't advocate for. I'm all about independence and owning your own. This is my show, although it's not my platform. YouTube, being what it is, but um, this is my show. And I actually do have a server of my own that I could stream it from. I use YouTube now because it helps me reach more people. Eventually, I'm going to switch over to my private server exclusively. But this is something that we can all take advantage of, man. Just, like I said, if you just have just a smartphone, you can have a show. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes a desire to want to do it. So uh, I'm thanking everybody that's ever logged on. Even if it was just for a minute or two. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, I'm sure if I keep doing it, I'm sure the channel will grow. But I just want y'all to know that I do this for therapy for myself, uh, and I don't hawk products. I don't try to push anything, one way or the other. That's one of the things that used to turn me off from television and radio was there was too many commercials. I got so sick of commercials. I hated it. Um, and it's not something that that I want to do here. I just come on. I like to talk, and like I said before, and I'll continue to say, subscribe to the channel. That's the only thing I ask you to do because you never know. One day I might come on here and I might have something really, really important that could be just for you, but you'll never know if you're not subscribed. So don't miss out. You know, I'm not the most charismatic guy. I'm not the sexiest dude. I'm not the I don't have all the swag, that a lot of you youngsters look for, but I'm an experienced dude. I'm experienced at life, and sometimes I just like to talk about life because life be life, and you know what I mean. All right, so that's all I want to do tonight. Um, kiss your children, hug your children. Make sure you tell somebody you love them today. Uh, um, you know, hopefully if we all wake up tomorrow, be grateful because we'll have another day to do this all again. And you know, my motto is live to inspire, not to impress. Okay, because kids, mostly young minds, are so so impressionable, and you don't want to impress them with bullshit, but you do want to inspire them for greatness. So keep that in mind. All right, y'all. I'm your man's Ken Jackson. This has been the Ken Jackson Experience Sunday night broadcast. I will see y'all probably tomorrow. Catch my daily rants, my random thoughts and shit show. I have no set time for that. I just come on, randomly and talk about whatever's on my mind at the moment. But join me next week right here on YouTube, Crazy Baby TV World, the Ken Jackson Experience. Next week, I'm going to have a good topic for y'all, and I'm going to have some invited guests on. So you'll have to keep logging on throughout the week to find out who and what we're going to be chatting about. All right. So until then, I will catch y'all later. Peace.